In this video, I'm gonna discuss about how passwords are being cracked. So first, I wanna start off by saying one thing. I do not condone any kind of usage that I'm about to tell you. First things first, cracking passwords is both an art and science, and I'll try to show you the many ways and subtleties involved. Though there are many forms of authentication like biometric method or iris recognition, passwords are the most widely used form of authentication throughout the world. A username and password are used on computer systems, bank accounts, ATMs, websites, and many more. Generally, passwords are not stored in a simple plain text. Rather, these are stored as hashes. Hashes are one-way encryption that are unique for a given input. Any website of this age uses a hashing algorithm to manage passwords. There are many types of hashing algorithms like SHA1, Ghost, MD5, Tiger, etc. In Windows, passwords on the local system are stored in SAM file, while Linux stores them in the /etc/shadow file. These files are accessible with only root privileges. So let's look at an example what I mean. Take Facebook for instance. In order to use Facebook for the first time, you are supposed to fill in a form like this, which contains your first and last name, your email address, a password, your birth date, and your gender. After filling these details, and when you click sign up, this data will be sent to Facebook's backend database. In the database, your name, your gender, your age, your email address are saved as it is, except the password. As I said earlier, a password will never be saved as a simple plain text in any website's database. So the password that you entered will be given as an input to a hashing algorithm, and the output given by this algorithm is the encrypted form of the password. The encrypted password is saved in a password field in the Facebook database, but not the simple plain text that you have entered. Now let's consider that Facebook's data has been breached and hackers managed to gain Facebook's user information, which included their name, age, email address, and password. Even though hackers have this information, they cannot log into any specific user account as the password is encrypted. If the hacker tries to log into any specific user account with the information that they have gained from the breach, he will not be provided access because he is only allowed to enter the plain text in order to use his account. So what do they do now? This is where your strength of the password comes into the play. If you are using common passwords like 123456, password, test123456, then the hacker will be easily able to know the plain text form of your password from the hash string. And this is where rainbow tables comes in. Rainbow tables are basically a huge set of pre-computed tables filled with hash values that are pre-matched to possible plain text passwords. These rainbow tables essentially allow hackers to reverse the hashing function to determine what the plain text password might be. So the hacker would do a simple search for the password hash that he has, and if the password hash exists in the rainbow table, voila, that means that the password is successfully cracked and we now have the password in plain text. Onto a side note, rainbow tables contains the password hashes of only the passwords which are commonly used. But what if the password was not commonly used password? This is where dictionary attack and brute force attack comes. Both are quite similar. Dictionary attack is the simplest and fastest password cracking attack. In this, you will have a word list of text format which contains a huge list of passwords. It just runs through a dictionary of words, trying each one of them to see if they work. Though such an approach would seem impractical to do manually, computers can do this very fast and run through millions of words in a few hours. This attack can be quite intimidating. It can be a success or a failure, depending upon the quality of your word list that you are using. Brute force attack is the most time-consuming attack. In a brute force attack, each and every combination of letters, numbers, and characters are converted into their hash forms and are then compared with the password hash, which is to be cracked. It literally takes forever to crack a strong password using this method. As you might expect, the more computing power you have, the more successful you will be with this approach. In recent times, a new technique called salting is introduced by security analysts to give hackers a hard time in cracking passwords. Salting is a form of password encryption that appends a password to a given password and then hashing the new string of characters. Salting is generally considered a more secure password encryption model than any other. Also, brute force attack and dictionary attack are not effective to crack the salted passwords unless the hacker already knows the salting algorithm. There is also another method called malware. In this, a keylogger or screen scraper can be installed by malware, which records everything you type or takes screenshots during a login process and then forwards a copy of this file to Hacker Central. Some malware will look for the existence of a web browser client password file and copy this, which unless properly encrypted will contain easily accessible saved passwords from the user. So that's it for this video. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up and make sure to subscribe to this channel.
But I couldn't resist you. Never felt like that girl